Hello, everybody. This is Natalie Jensis.
And Reshaunda Thornton.
We are on day 27 of 30 days, 30 ways to better health and mindset.
Yes. We're on
Yesterday,
the back end of this.
we are. It's crazy. It's gone kind of fast.
Yes, it has.
Yesterday, Rashonda, remind me, we talked about, yesterday was Sunday. We talked about serving, didn't we?
Yep. We talk about, stepping up and finding ways to serve others through these times because our natural reaction is to think of self and self-preservation, which is, is a part of it. It's you're supposed to, but how can we carve out some of that and think about others that are going through this and how can we help them?
Right. And today, it's Monday. And we got an extension on our stay at home. So we're going to be cooped up a little bit longer than we realized or thought and hoped. And today we thought it'd be good to talk about ways to work more efficiently from the home. Kind of regroup. It's Monday. How can we do this more efficiently?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is important not just to be efficient, but when you're more efficient, you're more feeling more mentally well and just have a good, better attitude for those who are also living with you, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is just get dressed like you normally would for work, you know. You don't have to go all out necessarily, but change out of your pajamas. Do your normal hygiene routine and just put yourself in a different space for work. You might have to get creative, but we'll talk about that too in a few minutes. So also plan sometimes to be social for your work day. Like try to stay on target with your work as your hours for work are work, but plan a little time to call a coworker or Zoom a coworker once a week or whatever it may be. I think we covered this in one of our other sessions this week. Just plan to be social with them. And then also plan on every hour, hour and a half, get up, walk around, get some movement in your body, get the blood flowing again. And or if you're doing something active for work and you need to pause for 30 seconds, then do that. Just get some variation in what you're doing. And then last but not least, just make sure you're getting fresh air every now and again, especially now with the weather being much nicer. So those are your basic things that you want to think about, your basic needs, right? Let's think about more closely managing the home, whether you are working from home or you're working at home, being the manager of your home. There are ways to be more efficient. And what I like to do, which I've just recently started doing, is time blocking. And so I'll have certain times of the day where I'm working and other times of the day where I'm doing lunch and errands. And I try to put my moments together where I'm going to be more distracted, like lunch and errands together, so that it's less interruptions throughout my day. And then I'm going to encourage this, yes, to let the dishes stack up just a little bit and maybe save those and put them away for meal after your meal time. Because I know when I'm walking around working from home, and I tend to want to put the dishes away one by one as I see them trickle in, and that's not efficient, right? So I'm going to let them stack up till lunchtime. I'll just like put on my blinders and deal with it until lunchtime, and you know, put your blocks of time together so that you're more efficient and not having as many interruptions or transitions. Rashonda, you have a little bit slightly different method, don't you?
Yeah, and I do want to comment on the dishes situation. We'll come back to that one. We're gonna stay on task. So just like Natalie say, if you're the manager of your own home and you had opportunity to be at home on a longer than people that perhaps have to work a 9 to 5, how are you managing your time to where you can keep things moving smoothly now that you have more people in the home, which means there's more resources that are used, more cooking, just more. But even considering, let's flip it to like, let's say you do have a 9 to 5, and you have a 9 to 5, and yes, you're working from home, but still you're at home, and there are some responsibilities that you still need to take care of. And when you're not in a structure of work, as far as the building or just being at your job, you get a little lax, and we start free willing it a little bit. For me, instead of just taking it, oh, as my day moves on each day, I'm going to just, have my routine. I had to be more proactive. So, for example, like the night before my day, I created to-do lists. And like Natalie says, there's time blocks. But I created to-do lists from this time to that time when I'm focusing on this project. From this time to that time when I'm catching up on emails or responding to texts. From this time to that time, I'm setting things up. So I still try to make my work more efficient, because if I give myself 60 minutes to complete this project, I will be more focused and um, more, more apt to staying on task versus just, oh, I'm just going to take care of this project and I'll get done with it when I get done with it. So I'm able to work more efficiently by just saying, okay, I have 30 minutes. I need to focus on this, take away any distractions, and take care of this, and then move to the next thing. And I find that I can get a lot more done. The ball doesn't drop as far as what I forget, and I don't feel anxious that I missed something that they have to make up for the next day.
Yeah, and I can see where that helps too. Like if you're like, I only have 60 minutes, I'm not going to answer that email right now. I'm going to put that off until I'm done with this 60 minutes and wait until I'm supposed to answer my emails and not not be interrupted so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we were also talking about delegating. Did you want to expand
Yeah.
on that a little bit?
Yeah, so like, in the midst of you're trying to rearrange your schedule and juggle your schedule, I think it's opportunity to start delegating some work out. If you have kids or that are old enough to take some responsibility as far as household work, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for you to be around when you're teaching them to do it, so they can do it up to the standards that you probably would like, and getting them into the routine of contributing to the family. It help them make their own healthy snacks. You can help them just to learn how to clean up behind themselves. So all those little things, you don't have to find yourself spending time doing it. They're taking care of it. And outside, let's say you don't have kids or the kids are too young, you can source out some of your time consuming activities. So, let's say the yard needs to be cut. Hire someone to cut the yard. That's a 45 minutes to an hour that you have for yourself. You can, have people have services drop off your food so that you don't have to stop or pause and go get the food, or sometimes cook the food. You can have food services brought to you. There are a lot of young kids out there that likes walking dogs. I mean, there's so many people that can do some of the little things. I know you may enjoy it, but if you want to be more efficient with your time, you may want to find ways you can source some of those out, because let's say you have 30-minute things that you typically do in a day. If you can kind of delegate that out, that gives you an extra 90 minutes to take care of some of the things you need to take care of regarding your work or at home, and be able to help you work more efficiently. So I'm all about delegating some responsibilities so that I can have more time to do what I need to do more efficiently and more effectively.
I am a big fan of delegation as well, and have my kids, help with the dishes, the laundry, stripping the the sheets off their bed, and things like that for sure. So definitely a good time to have intentional teaching of those things to them so that they can help take some of the load off of you. So let's think about the workspace. We have a couple minutes left, and if you are working from home, like an office job or something similar where you need to work at home, it's good to consider rearranging your work hours if you have family who you're living with and you need, to have more quiet time. You might want to work from 6 to 2 or 7 to 3. If you're trying to homeschool at the same time or help them with e-learning, then you might want to work from 9 to noon, or 6 to 9 and then 12 to 4, however many hours you need to get in your day. But you get the idea. You're time blocking still as to when you're going to have focused periods of time, and then you can let your family know, this is how I need it to go. If you can work with me, create expectations that you can all contribute to and work with. And then don't check your notifications every time you get one on your phone or your computer. Like Reshaunda said, stick to your designated period of time for work. Announce to your family members, I have a call at this time, if you could please be more quiet, and exchange the same favor to them if they need it for their meetings at school or whatever it may be. And then also think about the transitions when you're driving home from work typically, or driving to work. Create a new transition for you as you're coming up the stairs or down the stairs or from the other room. So you have a transitional moment, at least, whether it's taking a pet for the walk or listening to a song or strumming a guitar, your instrument of choice, before you move on to the home life again from your work day. Those are all helpful to keep you focused and feeling more productive. And then as far as your physical workspace, it's you have to make do with what you have, but it's definitely worth putting a little bit of effort in if you're going to be here for a little bit while longer, right? So I know we've used some foam mats in our house to try to soundproof it a little bit under the little footsteps that we hear so much of. Use some room dividers that you can get inexpensively to create your own space, and you can even make those or make a little project out of it to have some fun with it. Use headphones, of course. I recommend the earbuds or headphones, actually better than earbuds because they're not in your ears. Do as I say, not as I do. And then if you can limit the wireless, that's even better because we've talked about the Wi-Fi thing is not being super healthy for you. Use good lighting that's not too harsh, not the fluorescent lighting. Have your ergonomics in place. Get your computer at the right height and just take care of your posture while you're doing it. Make sure your space is clean. And uncluttered is better if you can manage that. But again, we have to work with what we have. What else? You can add pictures and plants. Just make it a little more personal, just to give it some comfort, right? So those are the tips that I have for you today to work more efficiently from home.
Yeah, and that sums it up. One thing I'll add to that is keep your routine, take breaks, take a lunch break, take a snack break, take a break outside at noon and go outside and do a walk. Like try to keep your routine the best way that you can as if you were at work. That way to keep, you do all the things that it took for you to stay efficient at work, just to transition it to where do you do at home to make the same make those same results. So we're hoping that as we are steadily in this time phase of our lives, that we are still building tools and how to keep ourselves, sound mentally and emotionally through these times. So we're hoping that this helps give you some ideas on how to work efficiently. If you have any ideas that we may have missed, which I'm sure there were a few or a lot, please feel free to post them, because the more ideas that we can create, the more ways we can help others. So we hope that that you take this, share it, implement it, and we will see you tomorrow. It'll be day 28. So we're whittling down to 3 more of these sessions.
That's right. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right. Bye, guys.